Okay, I don't know if this is right. So if you watch this in the replay, hey, how are you? Make sure you leave a like, a comment, anything like that. I think I need to clean my lens, and I thought I did, but I did not. So yeah, if you watch this in the replay, go ahead, subscribe, do all that other good stuff that you're supposed to do. You know, as a good YouTuber, that's what I gotta say. Hmm. Hey, Melissa. There we go. Better. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Lisa Springer. Okay. So the drink of the night is this. It's a strawberry margarita wine cocktail. Let's talk about that, Ray. Okay. So let's just talk about what the debacle of Saturday night. What happened? Okay. Um. So let's talk about the debacle of Saturday night. So yes, honey, this stuff is so good. Um. The debacle of Saturday night is, if you don't know, Swiss Beats and Timbaland have set up these things with the producers, and it's called Versus. It's like, and they play their music, and it's like a battle. It's like a music battle, right? So today was supposed to be Teddy Riley versus Babyface. Now, these things are free on IG, right? They're doing them on IG Live. Now, from what I heard from the start, Teddy Riley was trying to monetize it when this has just all been fun, and fun, right? So first off, that's the first thing. I heard that he was trying to monetize it in some sort of way, having swipe up or some shit. So we get to today, the battle. Now apparently, Babyface had been a little sick, so it had been postponed at first. So now we get to the battle. So I get in because I like me some Babyface. I like me some Teddy Riley, New Jack Swing, the smooth of Hey Danny, the smooth of Babyface, right? So they were gonna play music that they were involved in, produced, whatever. It was so tragic. It was so tragic. First off, let's talk about the setups. Teddy Riley got a whole studio setup. He got people in there with him. He got a whole squad. Right. Hey Coco, he got a whole squad. And he got a hype man. He got everybody with him, right? Right. Okay, right. Right. He had the Rona. That's right, he did. So now, Babyface, he just chilling in his studio by himself. He just chilling, being Babyface. He got on his white shirt, got on his little black jacket, looking like Babyface. Like you expect Babyface to look. Teddy Riley's trying to look like he did in the 1990s. So he doing all the most. He got play. He gonna try to play music. He got microphones and shit. It's echoing, echoing. So when I get on, he's trying to, it's like second round. He trying to play some music. It's echoing, echoing. But nobody in his room, because he got 17,000 people, are looking at the comments and seeing that everybody's talking about it's echoing and like badly. So you can barely hear it. So you can barely hear him. And now he trying to sing along and he trying to play music and shit. When all he was supposed to do was play his music and let us understand his music. See his music library. What Teddy Riley brings to the table. But no, he trying to do all the most extra shit. Babyface just sitting there like, oh, okay. Now Babyface is low key shady. He is shady. And I loved him for it. He's like, hey, you know what's going on? What's going on? And so now it's like in the comments were hilarious. And I'm like, this shit is tragic, y'all. Is everybody, I mean, it's like all the stars and everything is talking shit. Yes, yes, Guy was a Teddy Riley group. He's made music. Besides Guy, though, Teddy Riley is really prolific. There's a lot of music you wouldn't even know that Teddy Riley was involved with, that he was involved with. He's made some Bobby Brown music because that's what Teddy was saying. Because I think he did My Prerogative. Mm-mm. Right, right, right. Right. Hi, Janine. But Babyface was so cool and so smooth. And he was low key shady, but he wasn't. He was like, "Man, how old were you?" But everybody was saying it was shady, but he was really saying that Teddy Riley has been making music since he was a kid in high school. He was showing. But everybody's like, "Oh, he's being shady." No, he wasn't. But then what everybody kept trying to say that it was Babyface's fault. This echo, but it was his fault. Right? He did. Oh yeah, he did a lot. Right. Uh, No, I haven't seen whose video. Let me go look at it. Is it Teddy? So wait a minute. I mean, like this, celebrities was on there. Everybody's like, dude, do y'all see the comments? Swiss Beats finally had to call him and tell him, yo, it's you got a lot of feedback. It's a lot of echoes going on. It was hilarious. So they still trying to fix it, still trying to fix it, still trying to fix it. They cannot get it to fix. Oh, let me see. Right. Right. Soon as I get home from work. Right. Okay. So it was hilarious. Oh my god. Oh no. Teddy has deleted it, Melissa. I went on his page. It's gone because it was so tragic. It was so tragic. I mean, like so tragic. It was a comedy of errors and it was hilarious. But man, they're like, um, right, with right, right. I heard he said it with a chuckle. Right. Okay, let's see what Babyface said. Let's see what Babyface said. Cause they was trying to come for my Babyface. Babyface was not the one. Okay, here it comes. Here.
Here. I just I don't know, I just wanted to say that tonight was really special and so many people joined in on us that I think that it's only right that we postpone this thing and do it at a time when there aren't any technical difficulties and everybody can hear the music the way it needs to be heard. So I gracefully would like to say, why don't we just do this at another time, pick it up and have a good time later on. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Babyface here. I just it's really special and so many people joined.
Oh, that's funny.
It's only right that we postpone this
Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Oh my god, but it's so hilarious. Hold up. And they come up, but the thing is, Teddy Riley is getting roasted. But he didn't need to play the music. The whole point was they're supposed to just play the music, the records. They didn't have to play the music. Teddy was doing too much. Hold up, that shit is hilarious. That shit is hilarious. Hilarious. Now let me show you something that Kev on stage already did about it though. Kev on stage is a damn fool. If y'all don't listen to Kev on stage, he's a damn fool. Listen to this shit. And this is how it sounded. Kev on stage is a fool. Kev on stage is a fool. Now what he doing is because Teddy had a whole hype man behind him. Oh my god, it was hilarious. Wait a minute, the one I saw when he started playing, what song was that? It was Groove Me. He started playing Groove Me. He had a whole hype man. It was like He had this hype man behind him. And then when he finished playing the song, the guy just sat back down. But it was like, do y'all understand? Nobody can really hear it. And I mean, Teddy had a green screen. He had a whole studio set up. He had an entourage with him. Babyface just by himself. He said, well, it's just me in the studio, man. It's just me over here, Babyface was so smooth. And it was so funny because people was like, baby, it was hilarious. It was the funniest shit ever. It's so hilarious. He deleted the whole damn live. Oh man, Coco, that it made my night. I was dying laughing. The shit was so funny, and it went on and on. What happened, Coco? I was dying. Okay, so what's going on with Fragrance Net, Melissa? Let me just talk to you. Look, what's going on, and then we'll go back to because that made my night. I'm just telling you. And then I have a cocktail too. It just made my night because it was the most hilarious shit ever. And then the memes are already coming out about him. I mean, Babyface is done. I mean, Teddy Riley is done because they are coming for his ass because it was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. It was like and doing too much because he was, and he had like all these mics and everything. And everybody kept saying, "Turn off your mics. Why aren't you using your phone? Turn off your mics." And people try to say, "It's Babyface." Babyface was clear as hell. You could hear Babyface all day, and all you hear was, "What's going on?" They was like, "Oh," then when they called him, he kept trying to do stuff. It was hilarious. It was the best. Right. And I'm so sad because Fragrance Net usually is on point. I love Fragrance Net. They got the best prices. They we're gonna blame it on the Rona. Cause remember, Fragrance Net is based in New York. Hey Janet. Right. I mean, but we got to give them credit. We have to give them a break at this time. Now, if this was regular shit, smegular, we would go off on them. But we're gonna give them a break because maybe there's some shit going. There's obviously some shit going on that we don't know. We're gonna give them some. We're gonna give them a break because we still gonna. Oh, okay, Melissa. Let me tell you how that's gonna work. It's gonna keep saying that, but it's gonna come on time. That has nothing to do with Fragrance Net. That's on FedEx's end. So FedEx is known for that shit. So don't be mad at Fragrance Net for that one. That's a FedEx issue because that happens all the time. It takes days for FedEx to finally get the tracking right, and then all of a sudden you'll see it's been moving. So just know it's moving. FedEx hasn't done their end of it. So that's not a Fragrance Net issue. The Fragrance Net issue is it's taking forever for them to send shit. Can I just get something, please? I just want my stuff. Okay. Right. Oh, Corona plus vodka cocktail. Okay. So yes, if you did not get to see, hello Kim, if you did not get to see the Teddy Riley versus Babyface battle, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Right. Girl, you ain't even got to drive them to me. Just put them in, just do a 2 day, listen, just do a 2 day priority. I'll even pay for it. Just do a 2 day priority. Be like, listen, we got some shit that we need to be picked up. These damn kittens. So let's talk about. I had a whole list of weird things about me that I was going to share with you all today. No, we're going to leave that one alone. I had a whole list of weird things I was going to share. Um, no, you're not. No, you're not because they cost too much. Just chill until everything gets back because you gotta go. You gotta go back and forth. Um, so I'm evicting two kittens in the morning, in the afternoon. I'm evicting 2 in the afternoon. 2 are out of here. They're going to new homes. Bye bye, birdie kitties. Okay. Put them in a box. Okay, put them in a box and keep it moving. Okay, so yes, it is good. They're going to a good home. The person really wants them. Okay, one more has a house. He's going to. One more has a house. Matter of fact, you know him, Warren, the guy who made the chair. Um, Rescue Fridge Kitty is out of here. Yes, she's gone. And the black and white one, they're going to a home. And then Warren, he's taking the white one with the white one with the tips, with the smoky tips. He's taking that one, and then one is for B, and then one is for me. So yes, Kim, we're keeping 2. More than likely, B's gonna take them both because then they're gonna be hanging out and being friends. They're gonna be sisters together. So she gonna wind up with them both. Either she gonna wind up with them both, I'm gonna wind up with them both, and Juicy gonna go with her because I ain't having 3 cats. So hold up, they got memes and shit coming out. Let's look at this one. Hold on, let's see what they got about Babyface. Look. Oh my god! And look at this. Look, this is one of the looks from it. Look. No. I'm not having 3 cats. This is like, and see, he got a green screen behind him. He was doing too much. He was doing too much. He was doing way too much. He was doing way too much. This is him on the thing though. This is how he was looking because he was just doing way too much. I mean, it was like, it was the most. It was the most. It was hilarious though. I mean, it really made my night. Right? Right? He was trying to have a concert. He was trying to do it all instead of just playing his music so you could hear it. Because I mean, there's stuff that he's not on, and he's like, because he did the beats for the show by Dougie Fresh. You know, it's like, okay. So let's get into some weird things, facts about me. Yes, I heard that it's on sale 50% off. I'm trying to be good. Okay. But I'm not. I bought 2 more pairs of shoes, y'all. I bought 2 pairs of shoes today. I bought 2 pairs of shoes today. So we're going to say I bought 9 pairs of shoes. Let's see. Yeah, the white ones and a little pair of flats. They're 50% off. I am okay. $18 on Afterpay, or just 18 whole dollars. I'm staying off of there. Right. That's what I'm saying, Kim. In reference to the beaches, hey. Hi, Erica. Hi. In reference to the Florida beaches, what do I have to say? All I can say is this. I'm going to keep social distancing for quite some time because people are going to be stupid. And we're just going to, there's nothing I can do for these people. They in Florida. They want to be stupid. They can be stupid down in Florida. Just stay your ass in Florida. Don't move around. Stay there. because everybody's just being extra, because those people probably wouldn't even have been at the beach, but because we've been, it's like people have to do this, so they just got to do the extra because people are saying you couldn't do it. So now that you're doing it, everybody has to rush out and do it. It's like this mentality, like I say, they ain't trying to keep social distance on the beach. They all just there and they're gonna sit wherever. But the thing is that those people would have normally not been at the beach. Of course they're not. It's a bad idea, but you know what? Let Florida deal with it. That's on them. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep social distancing, and Illinois ain't playing with you. So what's gonna happen is that right. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah, you can go with the people you live with, but people are gonna be moving all up on each other. Come on. So it's like just because they opened it up didn't mean y'all all had to rush out there. They all had to rush out there to prove a point. Okay, so now if it starts spiking in Jacksonville, then it's gonna be a big deal. Then it's gonna be like, oh my God, we're having problems. Okay, we're gonna do what y'all gonna do. Because people stupid. The ones that I already told everybody, because people like, oh, when this is over, I'm gonna go to a day. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go get me some food. I'm gonna do the very limited around people, unless there's a few people that I know. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna see the people I know. Um, right? They won't test. You're right. They're not gonna test, but they're gonna be sick. They're gonna be sick. Hmm. It's gonna be increase in deaths in that area, and I don't mean it. I don't want it to be that way, but that's the truth of it. Like, oh my God. Speaking of that, I had yeah, I'm not taking them. I have some friends on Facebook, right? And they're like, it can't survive in the heat. You said, and like this woman's like, yes, because I'm in Vegas, and I'm out there every day walking and everything, and I'm fine. Girl, they couldn't come here. I got enough with 5 kittens in my house. Yeah, I'm not watching anything. But okay, so that I was like, what does that have to do with anything? You going outside and it's hot. And that means that it's okay. Okay, maybe you just haven't encountered it, because let's be honest, it isn't the percentage isn't high. It's high. Yeah, so right, I can't control them, but I can control my household. So I can make sure that I am doing what I need to do. So I will, go on my walks, I will do my things, and I will stay pretty much here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay around here. Okay? Right. But I mean, if somebody's right, and Vegas is shut down, but Vegas gonna open up soon because they can't keep. Listen, the economies can't stay like this. Right. Right, right. We got it, and we just asymptomatic. I done had it. Okay. Yeah. So what's gonna happen? All them people, they gonna be like running around with the bullshit and be like, oh my God, oh my God. Yes, eventually. Right, right. And here's the problem. Here's the thing with it is that, yes, eventually our bodies will figure out how to fight it. It's a virus. Our bodies are going to figure out how to fight it. That's a fact. But until that time, I'm gonna stay over here. You know what? I just need girlfriend to move from across the hallway so they can get their apartment, and we can have the big porch. We can have the full back porch. Lisa knows how big the back porch would be if we had both sides of it, and we can have us a beautiful social distancing summer on the back porch. Right. Yeah, I saw that. Mark out spots in the parking lot. They're like, y'all ain't messing up these rooms, but we'll let y'all sleep in the parking lot. Yes, Lisa Springer, because she's been to my house. But Lisa's not here. Demetrius X. You so funny. No, you weren't there. Shut up, Demetrius. Whoever you are, and you lying. But we like you for it. Listen, Demetrius, we like you just because you talking that bullshit. Yes, it will be Michelle. See, Michelle been there too. Yes, it'll be nice and big. Yes. Yeah, I got this. I got this. I got this. Listen, Demetrius, we're not gonna have you in here talking crazy because you're trolling. So we're gonna keep going. Because you wouldn't be on my little live if you had all that dirt. Oh, listen, Melissa wanna. He's harmless. He's not coming at us, so that's fine. You subscribe to my channel? Okay, wait a minute. He subscribed. Pop your wrench cherry. But anyway, so we gotta do the announcement for that. Okay, never mind. I'm just off in my head again. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so I gotta say, Teddy was looking a little crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, you are so full of shit, Demetrius. You are so full of shit. You was doing good till you said singing Let's Chill. So we're gonna just let him keep typing. We're gonna keep going. So, okay. So let's just talk about some weird facts about me. Let's go into the weird facts section. I had a list, but so hopefully I can remember some of the weird facts about me I wanted to share. So let's go with the first one. Some of y'all notice because I have mentioned this before, but okay. Okay, so one of the things, the first weird fact is, me and my brothers and sisters are all born on the 6th of the month, all in different years. What happened? Y'all still here? Okay, there we go. Right. Okay, so let's get rid of him. Melissa, have fun. Put him in timeout because he's just going on. And two of them, my brothers, my sister Nabi and Terry, my brother and sister, are born on the same date but 4 years apart. Right? Because it blanked out for a second. That's why I asked. So we're all born on the 6th. I'm April 6th. My sister's August 6th. And my Melissa, yay! My brothers Terry and Nabi are on March 6th, but they're 4 years apart. They're not twins. So that's the first weird fact about me. So other weird facts as we go along. Now, my mama liked to move around a lot. Y'all keep hearing me. If y'all have noticed, you hear about stories about me in different spots in different schools because my mama liked to move a lot. So Sally would just move us on indiscriminately. It would just be like, hey, we're moving. So from kindergarten through 12th grade, hi, Stampin', I went to 11 schools. I wanted to go to another school senior year because I just wanted to round it out and have 12 for 12. I was like, well, shit, I've already done 11. Can we just go for 12? So I went to 11 schools from kindergarten through 12th grade. Some years, right? Some years, the reason why I have so many schools is because some years I did multiple schools. Oh no! Happy birthday, honey. Don't have no pity party just because we're in the Rona. Honey, it's another year you here. So happy birthday. So no pity parties on your birthday. Salud. Salud to your birthday. No pity on the birthdays because you here, baby. So, yeah. So there were some years that I went up to, how many schools did I go to? Um, fourth grade, I went to 2 schools. Fifth grade, I went to 3 schools. So that took up 5 schools right there. So fourth and fifth grade, I went to 5 schools in that period. I didn't even think about it like that, but that's true. So fourth grade, I went to school well, happy birthday. I went to 2 schools, fourth grade, and then I went to 3 schools in my right. And then I went to 3 schools in fifth grade. Yeah, yeah, right. Oh yeah, I will sing. I will sing for you, Stampin'. Let's do this right now. Okay, Stampin'. So what you want? You got three. You got 3 versions. You got traditional. You got Stevie Wonder, and you have Marilyn Monroe. Pick out which kind of happy birthday you want, and I got you. Oh yeah. Hi Colette. How? Yeah, yeah. So growing up, I had to Stevie Wonder. Let me get ready. Melissa, you can't choose. It's her choice. When it's your birthday, it'll be your choice. Okay, Stevie Wonder though. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Come on, clap. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so see, you got your happy birthday song. Did you tell me it was your birthday, Melissa? Because I don't remember knowing it was your birthday. Because if you say it's your birthday, I always sing for everybody. Lisa, I didn't sing for your birthday. I thought I sang for your birthday. I know I sang for Michelle's birthday. Y'all got to remind me on the day. But I might not have lives on y'all birthdays. Did I? I'm so sorry, Melissa. Remind me. I owe you. I owe you big time. Melissa, send me your address. I'm going to send you some fragrances. Y'all got to remember, if we do a live on your birthday, to remind me, Lou, you're supposed to sing for me. Just know, Lou, you're supposed to sing for me. You did. I know when your birthday is. Okay, let me just pour a little something in here. Everybody something. Damn it. I'm not going to finish this. I don't remember when his birthday is. Shit. I'm just. Hi, Malika. How are you? How are you? Ooh, like a 30-cent Gertie Streetwalker. You was looking good, Melissa. Go on, work that streetwalker look. Work that streetwalker. Ain't nothing wrong with a little streetwalker on your birthday. Okay, so that was a couple of weird facts about me. Okay, so here's the other weird fact about me. Y'all know, I don't know, some of you know, I fell off a roof when I was 12. It was just a shed. You know, it was just a shed. Remember, I just fell off of a shed, but I messed up my knee from that point forward. So I fell off, and they misdiagnosed my knee at the time. So they said my knee was broken. Ooh, good. Yes. Wait, what? I was playing it. Okay, we're playing it. You know, that's when we called it hit tag or whatever. We was playing it, and I was on the and it was like this little playground we used to go to, and it was at this school that was closed. You know, it was summertime, so the school was closed. We used to play at this little playground in the back of the school that nobody would go to but me and my friends. And there was like this, you know, all these little areas, and one area was like, you know, had slides and stuff, and there was a shed. You know, it's gonna take a minute, Melissa, before you get it good. It was a shed next to it, and so I had sat on the shed. We were sitting on the top of the shed while we were playing it, and people were playing tag. Or y'all call it tag, we called it back in the day. You it. So I was there. Yes, I was on the shed. And then what happened was there was a couple of ways off the shed. So the person who was it was coming to over to the shed. They were stepping over onto the shed. So there was another way to get down off the shed, which is like you kind of step down. There was like big like wood poles that was that were in the ground. So you kind of stepped on that and then you jumped down. Well, I kind of overextended and I fell straight down. And I don't know what I did. Um, hey, and that's awesome. So I fell straight down off the shed. Uh, so, it's like, boom, I fell straight down. And so my friends were there with me. I was like, oh, right. And so when it happened, right. And so when it happened, um, I was kind of like, and I remember my friends tried to help me, right? So they tried to get me up and help me, and my knee collapsed. So I just fell out. And so at that point, that's when they figured out, and I hollered, and that was at the point that they figured out that they couldn't get me out of there because we was trying to get me out of there because we weren't supposed to be in there, and you know what I'm saying? It was a place we weren't supposed to be. Hi Melissa, we weren't supposed to be there, and so they was trying to get me out of there because it was like it wasn't a public park we were in. So, but there just so happened to have been a woman in her backyard facing this and saw me fall. So she came running around. And so then when she did that, she came and she brought her car, and then they carried me into her car and took me home. And then they got me in the house. And then my mama got home. This is the 70s. So, we ain't got no cell phones and stuff. So I think it was the summertime. I think I called my mama and she came home. And so I don't know if you've heard the story. My mother, uh, right. See, Lisa? So my mother never liked hospitals. So at the time my mama came home, she was like, so do you think you need to go to the hospital? And I looked at my mama. I said, Mama, I can't walk. I think I need to go because I couldn't walk. But my mama was on the, you think you're going to be all right by tomorrow? I was like, Mama, I can't walk. So I wound up at the hospital, and then I wound up with a full cast. Okay, okay. Cover face, mauve blush, lunatic labs. Like, oh, which one do you have? I only have one lunatic labs lip color. They don't have that many. Are you really rolling on my clothes, Cat? Oh yeah. You the two who leaving. So enjoy. I'm gonna let y'all have this moment on my bed because y'all out of here tomorrow. So yeah, so I wound up on crutches, you know, it was rough. It was, and it was summertime. So I spent my whole summer. That was like June. I did it in June. So I wound up the whole summer on crutches. It sucked. But okay, so then now, I don't have Lori. I have one, but it's not Lori. I'm pretty sure about that. So then the next thing that happened, so then the next weird thing about me, so then it took me some time to walk again because um the doctor had said that my knee was broken, and it was not. I just had fluid on it. Really, I had a lot of fluid on it. So they had drained it, but he didn't do it correctly. So I wound up going to see another doctor. I wound up going into the hospital for like 2 weeks for them to like do this like slow drain in my knee because my mama was like, no, don't do the try to do this again. And plus it was my pediatrician. He didn't know how to do it. So they took me through physical therapy, and I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks. I went to physical therapy for a while to walk again correctly. And so when I started walking, right? So now I've moved because I keep moving. So now I'm in seventh grade, and that was like the summer before seventh grade. So I leave where I'm at, where I know all my friends. All my friends are here, and then I move over to this new area in seventh grade. I don't have any friends. I'm brand new, don't know anybody, and I'm on crutches. I'm on crutches, 7th grade. No, I don't know anybody. I'm just like the geek of all geeks, right? And so when I finally really started walking, I was just pretty much by myself. I didn't know the kids in the neighborhood. So by the time I really started walking, it was getting cold outside. And so I never, it was like I didn't have the time to socialize and get to know all the kids in my neighborhood. So I was pretty much on my own. Hi, Joanna. So there was a period like I lived over here, and there was like a little store, it was White Hen Pantry. So it was kind of, about a mile and a half away from my house, maybe a little bit less than a mile and a half. So I would walk to the store by myself, and that was my thing. I would just walk to the store. No, because I lost all my friends. This was the 70s. It wasn't like we, had cell phones and stuff. So, um, nah, not at my school. So I so when I started walking, I would walk to the store, but I would walk backwards. Don't ask me why. But all of a sudden I decided that I like to walk backwards. So I would walk down this path because it was a straight path, but it was on a main street. My crazy ass was walking by myself down the street backwards. Backwards. And I would just walk down the street backwards, go get me some candy. I was really into bubble gum, so I go get my bubble yum, and I go home and I read books and stuff like that. Such a weird kid. I was such a weird kid. Hey Tammy, how was date night with hubby? So I would just, that's what I would do. I would, go ahead and do that. Just walk backwards. Walk backwards. Right. Now, I later found out that actually walking backwards is very good for your legs. You should do it sometimes. Not for long distances, but if you have a straight path, you should walk backwards. It's really good. It works your thighs in a different way. True story. Found that out later, because now if I go on a walk, I will turn around and walk backwards for a while, because it is really good for your thighs and in the back of your calves. I was just ahead of my time. See, walking backwards is good for you. So next up, so that was 7th grade. Right? That was 7th grade. And then I and build your butt muscles. It builds all that stuff. So it's good to actually walk backwards. That's why my butt looked so good when I was a kid. Who knew? I didn't. Oh yeah, metal, the pavement, metal, everything. Oh yeah, you was in trouble on, so come on. So that was one thing. So, because I used to have a nice little booty when I was in high school. My butt was okay. Anyway, I digress. So now we hit high school. So I wound up going to 3 different high schools. So I did 3 high schools. My freshman year was in Rachis. Then I went to Berkeley High my sophomore year. So I went to California and stayed with my oldest sister, aka the littlest witch of Eastwick. Y'all know what that means. So the littlest witch of Eastwick. So that was her. So I lived with her. Oh, the slide was so freaking hot all summer, but we would get on it, right? Baby, and okay, let's talk about the things we did as kids. Remember being on the swings and then jumping off to see how far you could jump? You would get as high as you could and then jump off. I used to do that. Remember, you would get on the swings, and then it would be like jump off the swing. Once you got it real high, as high as you could get it, almost where you felt like it was gonna like drop down. Yes, that's what I used to do, because I was a tomboy. No lies. I used to like catch frogs and stuff. It is amazing that I did not break my leg and crack that baby in 2 or 3 different places doing that shit. Cause that used to be so much fun. The the playground was the most risky place we had as kids. And we just loved it. We would be there on them hot ass swing. We would be on them hot ass slides, playing on them and burning our asses off. It just sliding down on our little thighs is high cannons, just hot as hell on them swings, trying to go as high as we could until it would like boom. You know how it would do that, like look, that train would like jump. Oh yeah, flip over the swing. Oh yes, flip the swing over the bar. Yes, and you're in it when it's flipping. Yes, you got to do that. You got to do that. Then this other one had this one thing. It was one of those round things that you ran in, and you had to like run correctly, or you would fall. Right. Yes. Jumping off and on the merry-go-round. Let's see how fast we can go. So then, and if you do it wrong, you're going to slide your leg across that concrete and just scratch up your whole fucking leg. Take off about 2 or 3 layers of skin. We did, these kids are so soft. They ain't nothing like we was back in the day. They had us out there we was just dying out there. We were dying out concussions left and right, broken bones, burns, second-degree burns on our asses. We was out there, but we was having a good time. And be out there all day long out in there. Wouldn't want to go home. Right on the seesaw, be like boom. Yes, I mean we were really cruel to each other. I mean think about it. Right? Right? Hey, Gemini, we loved and we was out there all day long. Wait, and remember, you would go out there with your lunch. You have your little bag lunch. You have your little sandwich. Might have some chips if you had some in the house. See, the 10 back handsprings. Girl, you was great. Right. Right. In Arizona, see, y'all was burning up in Arizona. Right? Honey, we was all, hey, most of us was poor back then. So okay, so high school. I went to 3 different high schools. When I lived with the littlest witch at Eastwick, and oh, by the way, the littlest witch at Eastwick is my older sister. She'll never admit to this. She'll never tell the truth about this. But for a while, she didn't feed me. She didn't buy any food for me. Right. Yeah, you gonna get trampled. I swear to y'all. I was in sophomore in high school, so I couldn't get a job. But my sister didn't feed me. She went through this thing. I don't know what the hell was going on, but she would not buy me food. So she will never admit to this, but this is what was going on. There was a moment when, like, my brother-in-law, her husband at the time, her ex-husband, all he ate was pork chops and hot links. I kid you not, and drank Coca-Cola. Oh, wait. Coca-Cola, right? That's all he ate. And then I don't know what was going on. If my mama wasn't sending enough money, I don't know what the fuck was going on. But remember, she is my sister. So that's what he ate. So there was this point where my sister said she was going on a diet. And she bought all her diet food. So I saw her come in with the food. And girl, he had the worst diet ever. He drank Coca-Cola and ate pork chops and hot links. So I was like, and so she brought in this food, she's like, I'm going on this diet. So I looked at her, I said, well, what am I supposed to eat? And she was like, I don't know. I kid you not. I was 15. Now, my sister will never admit to this, and she'll say that I'm lying and I'm exaggerating, but this is exactly fucking what happened. Family can be any shit. So, luckily, I had some friends that I had met during that year. So, I went over their house a few times and ate. And so, I needed to make some money because I had to buy food for myself. So, this guy showed me how to make um So this guy showed me how to make fake bus passes. Like the monthly bus passes for transit, right? Holly's not good though, but not on an everyday basis. So he showed me how to make bus passes, and Michelle. Um, so he showed me this guy, this friend. He was telling me how to make fake bus passes. So I started making fake bus passes. So I had a little, illegal operation. And speaking of that, one of them just texted me today. So he taught me how to make these fake bus passes. So I started this little business on the side, and I had my own clientele, and it went well for like 3 months until these damn fools figured out what I was doing and they fucked it up for everybody. But so I would I had my customers, and before bus passes were $12. I sold mine for 9. I sold mine for 9. It cost me about what was it, like 85 cents to make. So I made a decent profit on them. So I made a good, so I was buying food for myself. Make sure I got back and forth and everything. And like I said, I would go to my friend's house sometimes, a lot of times, and eat dinner with them. And so I was eating dinner with my friend, and then my other extra money was so I could have some food. My sister at one point asked me, "Where you getting all that money from?" Don't worry about the fuck I'm doing. Don't worry about me. I got this. I got this. Got this. So, yeah, so after I left, so I stayed there for a year and then I went back home. And at the time, I wouldn't tell my mom what was going on because I didn't want her to know what was happening. Because the way I wound up staying out there was because my mom had gotten sick. And to give her a break for her not to have to worry about me, I had went out to visit my sister for the summertime just to hang out. Um, just to hang out. And so then I said, yeah, I'll stay. So I decided to stay, and I stayed for the year. Right. Right. Yeah. Now to this day, my sister will never admit to the fact that she did this shit. She'll act like, "Oh, Twee's exaggerating. That never, um, Twee's just exaggerating. That never happened." Yeah. So it went on for about 6 weeks when she didn't feed me. Then I guess when she saw that I really was like, "Fuck you, bitch. I don't need you." Then then all of a sudden she became my sister again. And so then all of a sudden we had food for me. So yeah. So, but that's no animosity, no animosity, none of that. I just don't fuck with him. No. Mm-mm. Thank God she didn't come because you were hanging with Donnie. Donnie hates that sister. That's a whole different story. Donnie hates that sister. Ooh, yes. She hates my biggest. That's my oldest sister. Donnie hates her with a passion. Like a passion. She hates her. Mm. Okay, so that was that. So then that was high school. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I forgave him. I just don't fuck with him. Here's the thing. As I always say, fuck your sorry. I can forgive you, but that don't mean I gotta fuck with you either. And that's the thing with life. That's the thing that most people don't understand or get in life. You can forgive people. You can say, "Hey, I'm past it. I'm okay with it. It happened, but I ain't gotta fuck with your ass no more." And then when you get to that point, that's when you have transcended the bullshit. Because too often we let these people back in our lives when we shouldn't. And then they do the same fucking shit over and over again to us. So fuck your sorry. Now, let me say this. I was still close to my sister for years until 2009, 2008, 2008. So, we were still semi close, but I always knew who my sister was. And in life, that's the other thing. You must know who people are. You know, you must know who people are and have less and have no more expectations from them than who they are. And so after that point in my life, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Donnie hates. If you don't get her on that story again. Oh, Donnie hates her. Um, so if so you know, if you can get past that point, it's fine. But that's what you have to do in life. You don't have to. Oh, oh, that's a story, baby. That's a story. Right. That's a story, honey. So anyway, so that was that. Now, interestingly enough, weird fact, because my parents were older, my parents were going on 41 when they had me. I always said I was going to have my kids early. I said, if I have kids, I'm going to have my first one at 20, 22. I'm 23 years old, and I'm going to have my next one at 25, and then I'm going to be done. I have a boy and a girl. That's what I'm going to have. I have a boy first, and I'm going to have a girl. That's all I'm going to have. That's it. I'm done. I ain't going to have no kids after 30. And it wasn't against my parents. It was just, so so it was so that's what I always told people, that I was that, and this is just what I always said when I was a teenager. I was like, yeah, so then I became a young adult, and I was kicking it, I was doing my thing, having a good time, wasn't thinking like that. Had Bianca 2 months before I turned 23, had DJ 25 months later. And it was so interesting because I had forgot I had always said that until I had talked to somebody like right after DJ was born, and I hadn't talked to this person in a while, and I was like, oh yeah, I got kids now, and they were like, really, when did you have them, how old are they? And I told them the age. um um so I was like, they were like, yeah, that makes sense because you always said you were gonna have them at that age. And so I was like, damn, that's right. So when I look back on that, it does say that we do manifest some, if you say something over and over again, it will happen. And I didn't think about it that way, but that's honestly what happened with the kids. I had a boy and a girl. They were flipped, girl first, boy, and I no more kids after that. Because I always tell people, after 30, that kitchen is closed. Ain't nothing happening. Because I always said when I hit 40, I wanted my kids to at least be teenagers, so that I didn't have no babies to take care of, because I wasn't trying to take care of no kids in my 40s. And that's what I did. That's what I did. So it worked out. It worked out. It worked out. So it worked out that way. Boom. Um, okay. Those are some weird facts. Girl, see what I'm saying? It's like, and I get, and I know people who've had kids older. I got friends, but for me, because I grew up with older parents, I just didn't want to be that older parent. I didn't want to be tired. I was like, because my mom and daddy were good people, loved them with all my heart. They were some great parents, but they were older. And I always tell people my reality with my parents was different. Shit, okay, is different than theirs, which was like my mother, like my older sister was talking about how mama used to jump rope with them, and my older sister was like, yeah, mama used to jump rope. I said, mama didn't jump rope with me. My mom was about 50 years old, so we used to play cards. So they jumped rope with mama. I played cards with mama. We used to play gin rummy. I used to play rummy with her, and solitaire and poker with my daddy. Me and my daddy used to play poker and double solitaire, and that was it. So my relationship with them was more cerebral. My father was never that guy, because my father, my father was never that guy, because my father was legally blind and had a club foot. So he was never that guy, but so our relationships with my father was always very cerebral, because he was a very much about talking and things like that. And he was a hustler all his life. So I grew up with my father was a hustler, and then my mama was, this You know, um, she was the, you know, who she was the princess because my parents grew up across the street from each other. So my parents knew each other all their lives. So that's another weird fact about me. Weird fact about my family is that my grandmother and her sister married brothers. You know, they married brothers. Yes, like me and my sisters, they all thought that I was their child because my sisters are so much older than me. So, you know, they always thought, oh, yeah. So now growing up, my father wasn't a hustler. He had, he was, more mainstream at that point because he was in his 40s. But, he, he was a street guy growing when they were young. So that's where the hustle part came from. Because when I told my father what I was doing when I finally came home from living with my sister, and I told him everything that had happened while I was there, and I told my daddy, you know, he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I didn't get in trouble. It wasn't like, oh my God, clutch the pearls. Tweety was out there, doing something illegal. It was like, well, you didn't get caught. I was like, no, I didn't get caught. I was like, these two motherfuckers almost got us caught. But I was on the low, daddy. I was like, I handle my business. He was like, well, as long as you handle your business, you got this right. Matter of fact, my father and I used to drink beer when I was 12. Because I wanted to, my father used to drink Beck's and St. Pauli girl. And I was like, Daddy, what does beer taste like? Because, he drink his beer, and when he got paid, he get his little beer, 6-pack of beer, he was happy. And so he was like, well, you want to try? Right, see? And so, I was like, well, you want to taste it? So, for a while, when he got paid, he would get the beer and I would have a beer with him. See, Lisa, it's so funny to see that I'm such a. But then I found out, I said, I don't like to taste the beer. So I stopped drinking beer to this day. So I stopped drinking beer at 12 and a half. I started drinking beer at 12 and I stopped drinking at 12 and a half. I have never drank beer since because I found out I didn't like the taste of beer and that was enough for me. And never again. Never again. So I didn't drink beer. That's why I don't. Hey, Rita. Why am I such? Because I never really drank. And like when I was in high school and stuff, everybody was drinking. So I was that opposite kid. I didn't drink because everybody else was drinking and stuff. So I wouldn't drink. And so growing up, and then when I used to hang out and, right, okay. And so like when I was in high school, oh, let's talk about high school then. So when I was in high school, when I was like, was this right before my senior year? This is when I found out I didn't have a curfew because my mama didn't believe in curfews and I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but I found out. So I didn't, so technically I didn't have a curfew once I was like 16, 17. So when I was about 17 years old, I never had a curfew. I could go out and stay out all night. And so the reason why, and so you're going to hear this is so crazy. So like my mother's thing was because you can do just as bad at 6 p.m. as you can do at 2 a.m. So I didn't have a curfew. Now, understand, I lived in Chicago, and so there was a lot of parties. So I used to go to parties all the time, you know? So I used to just party. I used to go to all the parties. House music was big here. I went to all those parties and stuff, and that's all I did. I used to go out and dance all night, but I didn't have, so like kids with me, so when all the high school kids were getting drunk, I wasn't with them because I was at the parties that they couldn't, you know, um, I couldn't do. But see, my mama wasn't a 70s parent. Really, you got to understand, my mama was older. My mother was in her 40s then. So I went to all the parties, but everybody couldn't go with me because I didn't have the curfew. So I lived out in the suburbs. Rita, I went to Crete with them, but they couldn't go out with me because they had to be home and I didn't. So I'd be like, deuces. And I would hit the streets. Now, in the meantime, where I was at, but but the interesting thing is like where I was going, it was serious drugs going on, but I wouldn't do the drugs. So where I was at, it was like when I was going to parties, I wasn't going to Mendel and all those. I was going to the straight. gay clubs. So when I say house party, I mean house music, Coco. So where, Chicago is house music. So I went to all the house clubs, which were like the more gay clubs. So there's a lot of drugs in there, and I just didn't do them because when I was living with my cousin, when I was living with my sister, I had seen people OD and stuff when I was in California. So I was like, no. So when I was going out, I never got high. So, and that's what everybody was doing when I was going out to the parties. And I will say that the people around me, everybody was very protective of me because I was one of the younger people, because I was partying with people that were in their, 20, 21, and I was like 17, 18. So I was one of the younger people there. No, see, we was house music. We was straight house music. Frankie Knuckles, Ron Hardy. We are house music. That's Chicago. So, so when I went out and everybody was getting high around me, people weren't getting drunk around me. They were doing straight like acid. When I was going out, that acid, and they was getting high, and the main thing was acid and cocaine. They was doing powder, and they was doing, right, WBMX baby, and they were doing acid, and they were doing powder, and they were doing, getting high. I wouldn't do any of that. So, and the people around me protected me. So people would be trying to get me high, and they'd be like, no. So all my gay friends and everybody around me was a little bit older, so they always made sure nobody bothered me. So I never got high like that, and I never drank because that's not what the people were doing at the clubs I was at, because they were underage clubs. So they used to be called juice bars here in Chicago. And so they were 18 and over, but they didn't sell liquor. So they didn't sell liquor, but everybody was fucked up because they was high. So I didn't get high, but I wasn't drinking either. So that's why I'm such a lightweight. So I didn't start drinking, and till I was like in my 20s. And so I've always been a lightweight. And I don't drink enough. And so I never got that tolerance, because I would drink here and there, not too often. And so that's the way I am now. Like, I don't drink that often here. Oh yeah, they didn't let nobody mess with me. They'd be like, no, she don't do that. And I mean, like, literally, I would be at friends' houses, like, because I used to have God rest his soul, he died from AIDS. Friend of mine, Everett, you know, they were like, I would be over there and they'd be getting high. They'd be like, no, she don't do none of that shit. Leave her alone. And so I was always around people who got high and everything, but I never got high with them. I was always the sober one in the group. And they always made sure, that I was cool, and they made sure nobody tried to slip anything on me, plus I knew better, because I was taught. Also, I come from, you remember, my daddy was a hustler. So I came from a father who told me, you hold on to your drink, and you bring what you're going to drink with you. So I already knew how to protect myself on that level, because that's what I was taught. So I never, but I was lucky enough also to have those friends who'd be like, no, no, she don't do that shit. So it worked out for me, during that time. So that's how I wound up not drinking, never got, because never got high. I didn't get high till I was like recently, and I didn't even know I was getting high. Do y'all know? Okay, that's a weird fact. Do y'all know I got high a few years ago. I want to say, uh, about 5 years ago, and I didn't know I was getting high, y'all. This guy was like, we were over his place, and he had this beautiful rooftop deck. Um, no, this was before the Thanksgiving story. The first thing was, now that was the first time I had edibles, but the first time I got high was right before then, because I was like, I'm hanging out with it was a bunch of us at this guy's place. No, this is what happened. We were at this guy's house, and he had this beautiful rooftop deck, and we were all chilling and everything. And he kept saying, oh, we're gonna do some vapor. Now we were drinking, right? We were drinking cocktails. So in my mind, the vapor was alcohol. I thought we were sucking in alcohol, you know? So he's like, no, we're going to do some vape. And he's bringing up these plastic bags tied up and like, just suck it in and then blow it out and everything. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking it's liquor. Don't ask me why my dumb ass thought that shit. So I'm thinking it's liquor. And I'm just, yeah, okay, this is fun. Yeah. My dumb ass had no idea I was getting high until like 3 bags in. And then I happened to be down there. I was like, what are you grinding in that? He was like, weed. I was like, you mean I've been getting high this whole time? So I was getting high. Didn't know I was getting high. Because I thought for some, in my head, it was like, I thought he was vaporizing the liquor. And we were just like ingesting this liquor through the vapor. That's what I thought was happening until 3 bags in. And then I found out I was getting high. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? What's happening? Thank God I didn't have to go get dropped. I was high. I got high that night. Thank goodness I didn't have to go get no drops or nothing late after that, because I'd have been in trouble. It was very smooth. It was very smooth. But considering I've never gotten high, I don't know what high feels like. I didn't know what it was supposed to do. What's the difference? Right. It doesn't make sense, but it does make drunk sense because I was a little tipsy at that point. And in my head, I thought. So I don't know. I was inhaling vapor. If they had a bong, I would have known what was happening because I'd have been like, I know what this is. This is a bong. But it was a plastic bag full of smoke. Who knew? I didn't. Folks gotta be extra and shit. If it had just been a joint, I'd have been like, nah, I don't do none of that. Okay, I'm good. It was just vapor. So there we go. So that was my experience with that. Okay. If my teenagers told me the same thing, I probably wouldn't have believed them. However, I came home and told B, they know I got high. I was like, I woke B up. B, I think I'm high. She was like, oh, Lord Jesus. Right. That's why I didn't want to do nothing like that. Because everybody knows who does bombs or pipes. They cough a lot. And I was like, no, it wasn't sniffing. It was in. I was with friends. Everybody was doing it. We didn't have illegal stuff back then when I was doing it. So I was like, I mean, all my friends were doing it. I thought, listen, I wasn't by myself. Let me say this. It was a bunch of us and everybody was doing it. So I thought, I didn't think nothing of it. I thought nothing of it. Really, I thought nothing of it because it was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, cool. Who knew? Okay, I didn't know. Ooh, let's put on one of these. I'm starting to go through my green teas. Let's put one on tonight. Oh yeah, he's definitely high. Let's put on a cucumber. Let's put on a little cucumber tonight. Because these are pretty good for like bedroom scents. Let's douse myself in it. So I can really we can see what it really smells like. I gotta put notes in this. What you wearing? Just wander. Oh, that's high. When they say this smells different and they just wander off, oh, that's definitely high. Okay. I'm not getting a cucumber yet, but it's very citrusy. Very citrusy. I found a place for all of them. They have their own shelf. The green teas have their own little shelving unit, little part of the shelf, all by themselves, doing well together. So we shall see. Oh, you're wearing your O extraordinaire. That's what you're wearing, Melissa. Coco, you're wearing your O extraordinaire. Yeah, I'm not getting enough cucumber. I really like the scent of cucumber. I need more cucumber. Thalia Sodi liquids. I've never heard of that. Talia. I knew it. Good night, Tracy. Good night. Okay, so the story why I don't mess with my sisters. I don't know. Did you get your stuff? You wearing Rose's Greedy, Melissa. You're wearing Rose's Greedy, Melissa. Got that man Sarah on. Right. I'm gonna have to see about that. You got that. You got that Rose's Greedy on. I don't know why I didn't think about that. You got that Rose's Greedy on. Mm-hmm. It is the Rona. You have to be patient with the Rona times. So that's that. Now, okay, the story why I don't mess with my sisters. It is a story of craziness. It is a story of just I thought I told somebody else this. The reason why I don't fuck with my sisters now and what happened in 2008 is so something happened with B. Something happened and my sister here took it upon herself to make it more than it was and to blow it out of proportion and to put it all on B. She also then did this whole thing where she was talking about DJ and everything. She just encompassed my whole family, now mind you, at the same time this is happening, and they didn't know this, of course, was the beginning of when I was learning about the HIV and my ex-husband. So I had a lot on my plate. So this is stuff that happened. And so then they decide my sister is going to come in town and they're going to come and fix my household. Now, mind you, I'm in my 40s. I've been raising children. I don't, I'm not a crackhead. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have any issues. Shit happens in life. But understanding my sister here, there was a little jealousy because at the time that was when B was getting accepted into schools. And this was her senior year. And so she was getting accepted and she had gotten accepted into U of I and she had a series of scholarships there. She was accepted to George Washington University in DC, so she had, so there was a little jealousy. And I understand my sister and her jealousies. My older sister does not understand that. I do. I understand how my sister can be. You got family like that. So they decide they're going to come and they're going to fix my fucking house. Now, I got wind of what was happening, right? So I decided I was going to avoid them. Now, the one who got me in together, honestly, was DJ. Y'all can give me some likes. I see 65 people, I only see 20 likes. I'm going to need some more likes. Was DJ. Because like at the time DJ was a sophomore in high school and everything. Now let me explain what was going on. At the time I didn't have a car. Both of them were in Catholic schools. They were in different Catholic schools. So DJ was playing basketball at his school. Bianca was graduating from her school. Now, understand my older nephews fucked up in high school. They were really good in basketball, but they never really went anywhere with it. So DJ, well, you know, because my car was down and everything, he used to take DJ used to have to take two buses to go to school every day. Two buses, maybe two buses. B was taking buses. It was like we was, you know, the struggle was real at the time, but we was all making it through. So when they first came through, now I heard they were coming for B, but I knew B was really in a very fragile state at the time, so we were keeping her away from them. But they happened to come over, and it was like me and DJ were in the house. And so the first time they came in, this is when my sister was in town, and we was trying to wait it out. So we knew she was only gonna be here for a few days, so we was gonna wait it out, and we was gonna make sure that they didn't. So so they came over. Now DJ is a sophomore in high school, right? And they start grilling him. And my sisters are like, my older sister, because of course the bitch don't even live here. What are you going to do with your life? Do you have any plans? DJ was a fucking sophomore in high school. He's like, well, I'm playing basketball. I'm planning on going to college with basketball. Oh, what else are you going to do? I mean, she came at him like he was doing something wrong when he was not doing anything wrong. Now at the same time, we ain't even going to go into him. One of my nephews was doing in high school that my sister to this day does not fucking admit to, because I have a nephew that was a fucking drug dealer, but she won't admit to that, right? To this day, she won't admit that her fucking son was a drug dealer. Everybody knows he was. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's another story. So, I mean, they coming to DJ. So when they leave, I'm pissed. And then DJ was like, Mom, because, I am the youngest. So I have always given my sisters a certain amount of respect as my older sisters, because there's such a big age gap. I've always, I grew up through this, my big sisters, so I always gave them a certain amount of respect. But they also forget that I'm still a grown ass person, and that's the way they rolled in my house. Like, I wasn't a motherfucking grown ass person, paying my own motherfucking bills, raising my kids, no problems, right? So, so with that all being said, so right, exactly. So DJ, he got me together because I was about to go to fuck up. He said, "Ma, why you get mad? We winning." He said, B got all these scholarships, academic scholarships. She's about to go to school. I'm going to be fine. She said, we winning. She just mad because they ain't doing the same thing that your kids are doing. So he talked me off the ledge because I was about to cuss them bitches out right then. I said, you right, DJ. I'm like, you right, DJ. Hey. So that would happen. And then, women avoid. Saturday morning, these broads show up at my house at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Bridget, me and B are home by ourselves. So they come in, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I was trying to, because B just wasn't up for it. There had been some stuff that had happened. She was very fragile at the time. I just didn't need that shit. So they get to telling me about me. So I'm gonna sit at my dining room table with them, and they sit up there telling me how I don't know how to raise my kids, how I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, basically, and we worried about you. I mean, I swear to God, you wouldn't have thought I was a crackhead. Yes, this was after he hitchhiked home with the band of gypsies. So, he was like, so at the time, so I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna let these bras say what the fuck they gotta say about me. Whatever. Right? So I'm like, whatever. So they're going in on me like, I was the worst mother ever. Now my daughter my daughter ain't got scholarships at U of I. My daughter ain't got, she ain't got scholarships at GW. She ain't going to, Ivy League school and shit like that. No, none of that. We just, you get lost control of your kids and you're this. And I'm just looking at him like, okay. Whatever you say. That was fine. Then they turned. Then they started talking to Bianca. And they started saying shit to her. And yeah. And so then I happened to look at Bianca, and Bianca started crying. And she said, y'all didn't even say hello to me or something. I can't remember what she said, but it was something on the lines that, no, she said, you didn't even say congratulations about me getting accepted into college. And when I saw the tears in my daughter's eye coming down off my daughter, that's when I stood up from my dining room table and looked at my older sisters and said, now, this is over. Get the fuck out my house. And that's all I said. And my sisters were askance because I had never spoken to them like that. And they were like, what? And all I kept saying, as I stood up, I said, get the fuck out my house. And then I walked, because my dining room was right by my front door. I walked to my front door, opened my front door. I said, get the fuck out my house. And I kept saying, they were like, they couldn't believe it. They're standing up, oh my God, what did you say? I said, and all I said, and I kept saying it over and over again, get the fuck out my house. That's all I had to say at that point. I didn't cuss him, and I didn't get loud. I just kept saying it right at this level, get the fuck out my house. Get the fuck out my house. And as they came out of my house and they're standing there and they're like, oh my God, Tweety, I slammed my fucking door and locked it and walked away from my door. And that was it. So that was the end of that. And so because of that, now I have 3 nephews. My sister here has 3 sons, and I help raise them. Been very close, always in their lives and everything. Now everybody's mad at me because I done said some shit. So that was that. Okay, and I'm cool with that, because I had honestly come to the conclusion, and I had said this about my oldest sister. I said, I really came to the conclusion like about 2 months before all this happened, that we really weren't that close. And I get it because my sister left town and moved. Okay, so my sister's 14 years old. They really are. My sister is 14 years older than me. So when I was 4 years old, she went away to college in Utah and went to school there, and then married and moved to California. So me and my sister, other than that 1 year I was living with her in high school, we've never lived in the same space. We were, she's my older sister, but that's it. And, but distance had always kept us apart. So she didn't know me. I didn't know her that well. But her and Terry are 4 years apart. So they're very close. And because of the dynamics, because my sister Terry, the one that you met, Lisa, is very sickly, always has been. So Ricky has always protected her because she was the oldest when they were young. So Ricky's very protective of her, and she believes anything Terry she says. So I get that point. So I had already came to the conclusion that really our relationship wasn't what I always thought it was. It just was, we were sisters by blood, but not by love. We weren't that. So that was that. So that was about in April. So now things is going on, life is going on. Now, mind you, I'm dealing with, of course, they don't know this, the realization that my husband has HIV, is HIV positive. This is all happening at the same time. So I got a lot of shit on my plate. So that's going on. So now things are happening. I ain't got shit to say to them. I'm done. There was a point that I know that there was a family reunion that I didn't make it to because B had to go to, because she was going to GW. Yeah, we didn't. My older sister Terry here, I grew up with her. My other sister I didn't grow up with, so I get it. So I had just resigned myself to the fact that really our relationship wasn't like sisters. It was more like, hey, we're sisters, but not really, No, I didn't have my health shit going on at that point, Lisa. That's why Donnie hates her. So that's when we're getting to the point that Donnie hates her. So that's what's happening. And so I'm I'm just dealing with shit, and there's a whole lot going on. I'm just trying to survive at that point. My marriage is breaking up. This nigga, and yes, I'm gonna say it just like that. This nigga I just found out has HIV, and I gotta find out if I got HIV. So I got a lot of shit going on. I ain't got time to be worried about my sisters. So that happens, and then then it became October, and that was when I finally went to get my HIV testing. And so, as you all know, that's when I found out I was sick. So, right. So, so that's when I found out, because understand from, I found out definitely that he was HIV positive when he told me in June officially. I pretty was sure he had it before then, but he was forced into the situation and told me in June that he had HIV. I had to wait until I had health insurance in order to get my HIV testing, because I didn't want to get the HIV testing and have pre-existing conditions and then have, so that my insurance wouldn't cover it. So I had to wait to get tested. That was part of the wait. And just to be honest, I was scared. I was scared to find out if I had HIV, because at that point it was like, if I have HIV, I've had it for quite some time. But okay, finally, you got to deal with it. So, well, but see, honestly, they didn't know any of this. Honestly, at that point, when they walked in my house, they didn't even know any of this was happening. No one knew about this, other than the only person who knew that I was dealing with this was Donnie. Y'all know D, my best friend. She was the only one who was aware, at that time, what was honestly happening with that situation. Nobody else knew, because I wasn't telling nobody. Who I wasn't gonna say, oh my God, I think he's got HIV. Just wasn't, that wasn't something I was telling, just telling everybody. So at the time, that's what was happening. So when I went to get it done, that's what happened. So of course, for the people who know, then what happened was I went to get tested. Yes, Donnie Collins. That's my best friend. So I went so when I went to get tested, that's when I found out. So when I went to get tested, of course, that's, as everybody knows, the people who know, that's when I got the call. Exactly. So that's when I got the call. And so, so the way it went, right, exactly. It was just like, shit was going down. As a matter of fact, I got real quiet. Nobody knew anything. During that time, I had to stop, because at that time I had to stop teaching belly dance, because at the time I was teaching belly dance really heavily then. I had to stop teaching belly dance. I just had to work and everything. So I was real quiet. So nobody knew where I was. I had changed, we had to change phone numbers. I mean, it was a lot going on. So it was like, I was underground for quite some time. So then when I went in October and went and got tested, because finally I said I had to get tested. So that's when I got tested. And then that was the night. So when I got tested, I had all these other tests run, because of course at that point I was like, well, I wasn't feeling well, but I didn't know what was going on. But I thought it was just stress and so much happening in my life, because at the time I was working 2 jobs. I was working as a blackjack dealer overnight, and then I was teaching. I was a long-term sub during the day. So I was working a lot then. And I was trying to gather money so I could move, because the deal was he was supposed to move out the house. Then he decided he wasn't going to move out. So now I was like, fuck it, I got to go. So, I was trying to get the money together so I can move and all this other stuff. Everything was happening and everything. So, yeah, so I was working a lot. So at the time, what was happening is that my feet were swelling up super bad. So my feet were swelling up, and then I would have like dizzy spells. Like I was lightheaded a lot, and I was just like, if y'all think I'm pale now, I was super pale. I did not know how pale I was, but I was super pale. I had no color. And so when I had the testing done, and so when I told my doctor, I thought I had diabetes, because I had the swelling of the feet, my hands were swelling up. I was feeling like, shortness of breath. I was tired all the time. So she thought I might have diabetes. So I had an A1C1 done. They just ran the whole battery of tests. Of course, I had my HIV test done. I had the hepatitis test done, because of course he had HIV and hepatitis C. So I had to have both of those tests run. So I had all that stuff done. So I had that done on a Monday. And so I went to work. Yeah. So I went to work. I went to work. So I went to work overnight at the boat. And when I left, they called me and was like, my doctor left me a message like, hey, when you get this message, you need to call me right away. So when I got that call, and I was like, I remember because like the way it was, we had to go over this bridge. I was driving, going to home, and I'm listening to my messages. Because I hadn't listened to any messages while I was at work, and I hear this message come through, and I'm driving, and I was like, I ain't calling her ass. I said, if I got HIV, I'm gonna have HIV in the morning. So that was my thought process. And then I had to stop and get some gas. And so then I said, no, just make the phone call. Just make the phone call. So when I made the phone call, she called me. She was like, yeah, they got me right through. Apparently, she had a message for her answering service. This person calls. Wait, get to me right away. So she was like, you are anemic. I was like, okay, I'm anemic. Because the first thing I said when she answered the phone, I said, I've got HIV. And I'm ready to cry. I'm on the phone in the car. And I'm ready to cry, right? Because at this point, shit. So so she's like, no, you do not have HIV. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then she was like, but you are anemic. And I said, okay, you want me to go get some iron pills? She was like, no, I'm calling the hospital. I need you to go to this. You're being admitted. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So she was like, no, right, exactly. So she was like, no, you're going into the hospital. You're at about a 5 right now. So when she told me that, I was like, oh shit, let me go. So I remember I called Donnie. I was like, yeah, I gotta go to the hospital. I said, the doctor said I gotta go to the hospital. So, I picked her up and we went to the emergency room and everything. And they admitted me that night. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a 5. I was a 5 at the time. And so they was like, and I don't know. Let me say this. I had no idea. So, well, I mean, because you think anemic, you say, oh, it's just anemic, just take some fucking iron pills. So I didn't understand. I didn't know anything about anemia. I didn't know what the number meant or anything. But she was just like, just tell them you're a 5. I'm calling it in. They know what to do. So when I got there, shit started happening. Well, let me say that, Melissa. That's what they said to me too. So they started, shit started happening. So since yes, I used to eat ice all the time. Right. I didn't know. I was like, okay. So then they're dealing with that and everything. So I wound up in the hospital. Right. No wonder I was tired. And so then I wind up like they were trying to do all kind of shit to me. Cause then the other thing was I had fibroids. So I had these fibroids that were very bad. So they were like trying to do some shit. They were like, we're going to give you a hysterectomy. We're going to get rid of these fibroids. We're going to do it all while you're in the hospital. But then all of a sudden they stopped doing that. And then they're like, oh, we're going to get you with this hematologist. So I'm like, okay, because once again, I am totally clueless on what's happening. But at one point, so now they're giving me like transfusions and everything. And all this is happening. And at one point, I stood up and blood flowed through my vagina. So all of a sudden blood just poured out of my vagina onto the floor. So that's when I really started freaking out because I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Right. I was like, oh, I didn't know that fucked me up because that had never happened before in my entire life. So it just started flowing through me. So, because I was on my period, but it was like all of a sudden it was just I was off my period, I thought, and then I just So anyway, so this is happening, and then they get me with this hematologist. Hematologist is like, yeah, your platelets are off. Okay, we're gonna do this, and I'm still not quite understanding. I'm still not quite understanding what's going on. So then finally, they're like, okay, well, we kind of got you stabilized. We're going to let you go home. But the hematologist in the meantime was like, I need you in my office. As soon as they release you, I need you to make an appointment to come and see my office the next day. So I did that. So when I got released, um, so when I got released, I'm like leaving. I'm calling this hematologist number. She gave me a card. I'm calling her office, making an appointment. But at the same time I'm making the appointment, I get a phone call, and it's her office. And it was I had called one office. She had two offices. Um, and I was like, what's going on? So then her office is like, hey, we heard you were released. We need you to see you, right? So I'm like, okay, you won't see me. Okay, I'm making an appointment right now. So I wound up going in the very next day, and I had a bone marrow biopsy. Um, so I had, right. So I had a bone marrow biopsy done, and and then at that point, that's when I started seeing this shit is real now. This is fucking getting real now. So because when I went there, I saw it said hematology oncology. And so while I'm there, they give me this bone marrow biopsy, and they take me into another room, and they're like, we're going to give you this iron infusion. And they put me on the IV and everything. And again, they're giving me this iron and everything. And then that's when I figured out, because I had this, they didn't push this fucking needle in my fucking hip, and they took marrow out of my bone. I said, this shit is serious. And at this point, I still don't know what's going on. So, um, then, oh yeah, because what you will learn is you can deaden the skin, you can deaden the flesh, but you cannot deaden the pain from the bone. So once the needle hits the bone, there's nothing that can stop that pain. So I took hey, bone marrow biopsy. Right, exactly. Oncology and bone marrow. That's when I figured out this is leukemia they think I have. So, see, they can numb the area. So what they do is they do give you something to numb the area, but once the needle hits the bone, there's nothing there's nothing there. There's nothing to numb that. So they can numb the flesh. So they numb the flesh as the needle goes in, but once the needle hits the bone, there's nothing that's gonna stop that pain. So you just gotta deal with that pain. So so then that's when I figured out I might have leukemia. And so Donnie's freaking out at this point because now I'm kind of getting it. Um, right. Yeah, adults is hold still, motherfucker. And that's exactly what it was. Get on your side, hold still. We about to do this shit to you. So that's when Donnie was like, now mind you, I hadn't talked to my sisters in months. So we're talking from April to now. I haven't spoken to my sisters. Um, so Donnie then, of course, is like, you need to tell your family, you need to tell your sisters. And I told I was like, of course I'm gonna call my brother. And so then I'm like, I was like, I'm not calling them. I said, because trust me, they're not gonna react the way you think they are. I don't know why in my heart I knew that. Right, you might feel some pressure. No, that motherfucker hurts. Um, so I don't know why, but honestly, in my heart, I knew, no, I don't need to call them. And so Donnie took it upon herself because she had their numbers, just because she had their numbers, and called them. Um, ooh, baby. So she called them. She called my sister here, the one that you met, Lisa. And my sister told her, she's like, at the time, that was the point, I know what was happening. She's like, Tweety's very sick. We don't know what's going on. I think you need to know that your sister, this is bad. My sister, Tweety broke my heart. I can't believe she talked to me like that. I've grown up, and went to this whole little tirade about that shit. And said, she just couldn't deal with it. Because I had hurt her too badly, and hung up the phone. Then she called the Lilith Switch at Eastwood in California. And uh oh yeah, she told her that. You can ask her, Rita. She loves this story. I mean, she can tell you verbatim. I'm just telling you, kind of what I think and how it went down. Then she called my older sister. My oldest sister then went into, yeah, my older sister then said she accused Donnie, and I don't, okay, let me get it right. She thought Donnie was lying, that I was trying to get money from her, and she didn't believe it, and she wanted to talk to my doctors because I don't think this is the truth. I think this is some bullshit. So that's why. So, and then she, she basically went into like, she thought that I was trying to get money from her. I never asked my sister for shit. Now my sister, was doing really well at the time, right? So she just, I don't know what the fuck she wanted. I had health insurance. So, and she didn't want to be bothered and hung up the phone. Yeah. Yep. It take Donnie to tell y'all, because to this day, we're talking 2008. Donnie has been dying to see Ricky. Luckily, their paths have not crossed, because Donnie, because Ricky was talking about coming to the baby shower. That's why I was like, I had people on patrol. Like, don't let Donnie get close. If my sister come to town, if she come up in there, you keep Donnie away from her, because this could go bad. If it gets late and people are gone, it will go bad. It will go down. So yeah. So, and so what happened is that she's doing really good with Terry. She can't stand Terry either. And so um so what happened is that I didn't have leukemia, of course, thank God. So what I have is ITP. And so it's fine. I've got way past it. It's them who have to deal with it now. You know what? Here's the thing about them. It's no point in that, because they're not going to hear it. They're not going to receive it. They're going to act like the martyrs that they have made themselves out to be. Oh, because there's more to this story. Y'all don't even know. The story gets deeper, even 10 years after the fact. So, oh, honey, my sisters are amazing people, especially the one that's here. So, so what I have is called ITP, and it mimics leukemia. So at the time this was all happening, my and I have kind of what's called thalassemia. So they said my blood cells are half the size of a normal human's. So I have to create more. So that's why I have such a I have such a high. That's why I need so much iron in my iron, intakes, because it does. I'm so sorry to hear that, Rita. So that's why I have such a high intake. And so the reason why it was so worrisome to my doctors at the time is because my body was mimicking leukemia at the same time. So my pancreas was inflamed. It was, it was swollen, which is a sign of leukemia. And my white blood cells were low. No, my red blood cells were low. And my white blood cells were off and everything. So whatever cells were supposed to be, my cells were supposed to be, yeah, so that's why I don't even buy. Oh, let me tell you about that. We'll get to that point, because the story has gone on for years. So after that, they said that my I think for my nurses and everything, my red blood cells were at no. My platelets, that's what it is. My platelets were at about 20,000 per whatever, and a normal person is supposed to be at 250,000. So I had no platelets. So I was on the verge of hemorrhaging at any moment. So my hematologist told me she didn't know how I was living like that, because she said in any moment I could have had a heart attack or a stroke because I had no blood and I had no platelets. So I was just a walking mess back then. I was just a walking ass mess. I don't know how. Yeah, right, exactly. So I can bleed out. So um, yeah. So that's what was happening. Well, see, that's what they put me in the hospital in the beginning. That's what it was first, because of my anemia, the blood, my um, right. So they said they thought so what it is that my white blood cells, which are supposed to, attack viruses and things like that, can sometimes attack my platelets. So they get kind of, so that's why I have low immunities, because my platelets don't always act the correct way. So that's what ITP is. So like my platelets, it can affect my platelets and I can hemorrhage. So that's always happening. And so, but what happens is, so once they knew what it was, they just gave me huge amounts of iron. So I went through months of going like once a week. I was going for like maybe 3 weeks, 3 months, where I went in every week. Yeah, just the one hospitalization, because once they figured out what it was, so then I was going in weekly. For a while, I was going in twice a week. Once they get, and then I was getting like for the first like month, I was going in twice a week to get iron, and then once a week for about 2 months after that, and then I didn't get the platelet infusions. They just worked with the iron, and the iron brought up everything. So by doing the iron infusions, that helped. So that, because they pumped me full of so much iron, and it might have had a platelet infusion in it too, Stanford. I don't know. They had me doing some type of infusions for like 3 months to get it together. Like that's why even now I can tell when I'm starting to feel bad. So I know. So all that happened. So then after that, that's when they figured out. Now, mind you, all this time I had my pap smear, all that done. Well, with all that happening, right, right, exactly. See, Melissa, supposed to be having all kinds of stuff going on. Um, right, it was in a very short period of time, and so that was the end of 2008. Then this is the funniest shit. So then, like in February, was it February, January, February 2009? My doctor calls me again. She's like, "Oh shit, your Pap smear was off." Yes, I was still working 2 jobs through all of that. Yep, I did, and then I stopped working one of them. I stopped working. I gave up at the end of the semester. I stopped teaching, and so by January I was just working as a blackjack dealer, and because that's what my health insurance and stuff was. Right. She was like, yeah, your pap smear was abnormal. I was like, what? She was like, well, because at the time they were gonna try to do a hysterectomy at that moment, but they weren't unable to. So at that moment, it wasn't enough. She didn't think about it. So then I wound up having to go through all of that. No, this was for me to get the hysterectomy. So because they had wanted to do it at the time I was hospitalized the first time, they were like, so they were like, so she didn't even think it was necessary. And then it dawned on her we never followed up on this abnormal pap smear. So then we did, and then it wound up that I was what did they say? I was, I didn't have cancer, but I was on the verge of it, whatever it's called. And so then I said, fuck it, take it. Because at first I was trying not to have a hysterectomy, because I was like, oh my God, they're going to take my uterus. Oh my God, it's going to be so terrible. I'm just not going to be a woman anymore. But they were like, well, you don't have to do it, but you are, very, you're precancerous. I was like, I said, you know what, y'all can. I said, and at that point, after dealing with the ITP and all that shit, I said, you know what, take that shit. So that's why I had it. Right. Right, right. Yeah, the ICP was such a big deal at the time. That was like not as because that was very, yeah, because that's what mine, because I could have bled out. And that's why I started bleeding, because when I was in the hospital, I finally had blood, because they said the reason why I probably hadn't bled out all that time is because my anemia had my blood so low, I didn't have enough. So it was, so that all happened. So like June of 2009, that's when I had the hysterectomy and everything. And I'm gonna tell you, people who came to me at that time, Kim Simmons, you met her at the baby shower. She um, belly dances with me. They came through for me. That's Tiffany Webb. There was a lot of people who came through for me at the time and helped me through that time too, to get me through it, because I never stopped my belly dance classes then. I just took off, I was on, off work for work, but I never stopped belly dance classes. So they taught for me, being my friends taught for me for like 3 weeks. So, I did all that, and that was cool. So that was that. Now, that was 2009. 2010, my sisters decided they wanted to check on me. Oh, in the meantime, let's throw this in. My older sister, who's here, got told my son, got to him, um, got to him at one point and said to him, "Your mama's going crazy. I'm a rep. If you need anything, rescue." Now it's 2 years since that, almost 2 years. If you need anything, let me know, because your mama's something wrong with her. Now she don't know I know that shit. I don't know why she didn't think my son told me. But I didn't even call on that shit. I just said fuck the bitch. So that was that. So then, girl, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Trying to turn my son against me. So, now we 2010. Hey, Patrick, how are you? So, okay, so now I'm gonna give y'all the whole timeline and everything. so now we got, so now we here, 2010. So then I get wind of my sisters are trying to come and see me. Teddy Riley. Oh, you came back. So, oh yeah, we talked about Teddy already. So my sisters now want to see me, right? So when I heard about it, I was like, cool, because by now I'm living in the city. I'm not living in the suburbs. I've left my house. I'm living here in Chicago. They kind of knew where I was. They knew where I lived, pretty much where I live. But here's the thing. My first apartment here in Chicago didn't have a bell. There was no front bell. I lived like on Cottage Grove. There was no front bell. You had to come around the back to get to my apartment. The front door didn't have bells or anything, right? Because I was over a storefront. So I was just like, cool, I ain't gotta see him. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was fun. You can leave if you don't want to hear the rest of this. Go ahead and wait till this is over, and then come to the beginning, because we talked all about Teddy and that shit was hilarious. Um, and so he was so then, okay, so this is the funniest shit ever. So I'm like, cool, because they can't get to me anyway. These broads decide that that's when my dog Nightmare was alive, my Akita. These bras stand on Cottage Grove, calling my dog's name, seeing if he'll bark, so they can find out where I live. What the fuck? And now, for the people who don't understand, my dog was a 135-pound Akita. He stood out. Everybody around on my neighborhood knew me and my dog. You know what I'm saying? They might not know who I am, but they knew the lady with the big ass dogs. The two ladies with the big dog, right? Lived down the street, two doors down from a Harold's Chicken place. Of course, we go to Harold's Chicken. I live in Chicago. We eat Harold's Chicken. Do you know these bras went there and asked about us? Yes. So so they go into there asking about us. They're like, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you talking about the two ladies who lived, the mom and daughter who lived down here with the dog? Yeah, they live right down here." Because I was like living two doors down. They're like, "Oh okay." So they never saw me. So then my ignorant ass, when I found out my older sister had left town, I sent her a message. I text her. I said, "Hey, I heard that y'all was looking for me. Y'all wanted to check on me." I said, "Well, it's now 2010, and I listed everything that's happened. I said all these things have happened to me, and I guess what? I'm okay. Because in the first place, why are y'all looking for me like I'm a fucking crackhead? Like I'm not taking care of my business? Like I'm on the street smoking, smoking a pipe or some shit? Why the fuck you looking for me?" So I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm solid. But thanks for looking out for me 2 years later. And what I did also tell, I said, but let me tell you something. If you ever need me, don't worry about it. Mom and daddy taught me well. So if you really need me, contact me. I'll look out for you. That's the best I got. Right, like I'm homeless. So next up, so then my sister calls me and I answer. This hoe, and that's why I don't fuck with her ass, tells me that I'm delusional. And that she doesn't, and I don't want to talk about the past. I don't want to hear anything about that. And at that time I said, well, you will never have to worry about that again. We're good. And I hung up. So that was it as far as I was concerned. 22, we good. We are good. We are good, baby. So we haven't, so I really don't fuck my sisters. So um over the years I've had to see them in certain spaces, family gatherings, because it is what it is, and there's moments when I have to see them because family. So I would see them at things, and I'm cordial, and I don't act like anything's wrong. Um, so last year, now we are in 2009. So last year, first off, I've always told my sister, my Bianca, I've always made this very clear to her. I said, as she's gotten older, I said, your aunts are crazy, and they're the types who will try to do something to me. Like have me committed or some shit because they think they gonna fix me. Fix the fuck what? I don't know. I said, so if I ever disappear, remember, you are my next of kin. They are not. You are my daughter. You're my next of kin. So I have this mandate with the kids. If I'm ever around them and I disappear, bitch, find me. They didn't try to have my ass committed someplace because the bitches is crazy. So I have this standing order about them, right? So last year was my aunt's. This is my mom's last sister that's alive, and I don't know how much longer she's gonna be alive. But my aunt Evelyn, right, right, right. But those my kids. They're my next of kin. So, last year, so now, so then fast forward years later, I have found out, was it, yeah, it was early last year in 2019, that apparently there has been talk about me all these years. So apparently I have been um, painted this picture that I have turned my back on the family, because one of the things is I don't go to a lot of family gatherings because I feel like this, my sisters really like to go to family gatherings on my mom's side, so I leave them with that. I don't go to a lot. I don't do any of that, and to this day I never really talked about it. You know, I didn't talk to my family about it. They don't need to know. My mama ain't here. Nobody needs to know. So I never talked to my aunts. I don't talk to anybody about the shit that happened. I just let the shit go and then kept it moving. Um, so apparently, though, the word has been in the family that I am this horrible person. I have turned my back on the family, and I'm just this horrible, horrible person, and I'm just this horrible, horrible person. So last year, around my aunt's birthday is right before mine in March. So my oldest sister came into town. So they called me up. They sent me a text. I kid you not, y'all. My sister sent me a text like, "Hey, I'm in town and we're staying downtown. You know, I got a room downtown and, you know, Terry here and you want to come and stay and we can all hang out overnight and hang out." Me? Spend the night with y'all? Oh, they branded me. Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the reason why people won't speak to me directly, Coco, is because who I am. Yeah. Um, because of who I am. Because they know I ain't gonna say shit. You know, see, so I they know who I am as hold up, Kim. So they know who I am as a person and nobody comes to me like that. Because they know I ain't got no words. What? What? So no one will say anything like that to me because they know not to come at me like that. Because I have always been very, very direct in my opinions and my thoughts. Um, so, um, so they want me to come and hang out with them, right? So I sent back a message. Hey, I got a cold. I ain't going nowhere. I'll see y'all at Auntie's party on Sunday. That's on a Friday. So I go to the party on Sunday. Now, the way that I normally go to family gatherings is I get there really late. So the party had been going on for about a couple of hours. Right. So, right. And see, that was my thing. Y'all ain't catching my ass up on no bullshit. So I got there late, you know. I always make an appearance. I stay for a few and then I leave. And that's been what I've done in the last like 10 years. I like come in, hey, how y'all doing? You know, hey, and then I leave. You know, because I let you know, hey. So I'm at this party and I'm hanging out, you know, speaking to people. Hey, how you doing? And I'm on my exit mode, you know, because I done spoke to everybody. Uh, so um, my sister grabs me and pushes me in this corner, and she's like, "This has to stop. This has to stop." And I swear to God, I looked at her like this. I was like, "What are you talking about? Stop what?" She's like, "You know, this thing between us. It's been 10 years. It needs to stop. It needs to stop." I looked at her and I went, "Kid you not." I looked at her, I said, "Ain't nothing." I was like, "There's nothing wrong. We're fine. Nothing to stop. Bye." I said, "Don't worry." I said, "Ain't nothing to worry." I said, there's nothing to stop. We're good. We're fine." And then that was it. And then, you know, it was me and DJ then. DJ was like ready to go too. I was like, "Let's roll out." And I left. So that's the funny thing. And it's like, right. Right, exactly. We all good. So that's why, you know, when B got pregnant and they found out she was pregnant, their thought was my sister here. And that's why she was acting that way, Lisa, was that this baby was gonna bring the family back together. First off, Bakari ain't no fucking Messiah. He ain't Jesus. He ain't Jesus of Nazareth. He's not gonna bring this family back together. So that's why Terry was acting that way at the baby shower. Because Lisa was at the baby shower. Well, see, here's the thing. We were tight, Coco. My sister that's here, the one that's 10 years older than me, she's right. I was with her all the way. I grew up with my sister that was here. We I did everything with her sons, my nephews. I was there for them the whole time when she was pregnant. I was always there. So we were very tight. Now my sister from California, that's one thing. But my sister here, yeah, we were very tight. And so I don't fuck with nobody. So now, like she just texted me today. Oh, I was thinking about you. Yeah, you had the witches mixed up. She said me, I've been worried about you. You all are okay, yada yada yada. We be fine. Right. Right. She was hollering. You heard her, Michelle, because y'all had it. She did it so y'all could see it. That's why it listen, it's so funny because at the baby shower, Lisa can attest to this. At the baby shower, my sister came. And so we finally invited her. It was like, okay, you can come. She came, and what she did was she latched on to Brandon's mother because Brandon's mother doesn't know her. She's from North Carolina. So she has no idea what's happened between us or anything. She doesn't know anything. So she came and she was just all over Brandon's mama. She was like her best friend. She's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." Um um Well, let me say this. The first thing that has to happen is that my sisters have to apologize. And they're never going to do that. So we're never going to get past this. Oh, because I forgot to roll back this. Here's the other thing that I didn't tell y'all about. So, okay. So, I have my brother. When all this happened, I didn't say anything to Nabi because I didn't want to put him in the middle of it. I never wanted him to have to choose sides, because we're all, we're brothers and sisters. So I didn't want to put him in it. So I never mentioned it to him. When all this was happening, I never mentioned. Yes, they came to town before all this social distancing. They came and saw him on in February, and they FaceTime every day and see him every day. So uh, so when this happened, so like in April of 2009, exactly. And so I'm perfectly fine with that stamp, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So here's the interesting thing. So when I saw Nabi, because I didn't say anything to him, I was dealing with all the health issues and everything. And so when I was moving back into the city, there was like 2 weeks before my apartment was ready. And so I asked Nabi, could I stay with him? Come over and stay with him, for a couple of weeks, my brother. And so I stayed with him for a couple of weeks. And so, like the first night I stayed with him, my brother's a tattoo artist. He works late nights. So I met him at the tattoo studio because after I got off, because I used to work overnights, and I went over, and then I went over to his house. We went back to his house. So we're sitting there chilling for a minute. We're drinking a glass of wine and everything. And then he looks at me and he goes, "Tweety, what you say to them?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, uh, "Right." He was like, "What you say to them?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "What you say to them?" I said, he said, "When they came over, what'd you say to them?" And I said, "I told them to get the fuck out of my house." He said, "Yeah, that's what I told him you was gonna say." Cause he said, "Yeah, cause they called me with that bullshit, and they wanted me to come over there with them." And I told them, hell no, y'all on some bullshit." He said, "And if I was Tweety, and if I know my sister, she gonna tell y'all to get the fuck out of her house." Now, that's what Nabi told me. So he said, "Yeah." And Ricky called me the next day and told me what happened and said you kicked him out. He said she told him, this is my older sister, the littlest witch of Eastwick, told my brother, oh yeah, he knew what went down. He just never said anything. He said, she told my brother, you were right. We should have never done that. That's what she told my brother right after it happened. To this day, my sister has never said that to me. And to say to me that I'm delusional and all that shit that she said to Rick, to Terry, to Donnie 6 months later says what kind of people they are. Because you know damn well y'all was wrong. You know? So yeah. Nope. Wouldn't tell me that. And has never from that day to this day has never told me that. And so I'm okay with it. You know, it's like there was of course right. Right. Um I but here's what's happened over the years. Uh right. Well, here's what's happened, and this is the interesting thing, is that my sister here, Terry, that you met, Lisa, she always thought, especially with my mom dying, and you know, us being, you know, just brothers and sisters, no parents, she thought she was the glue that held us together. And what she found out was that I was the glue that held us together. So now at this point, that's why you see like Christmas and Thanksgiving. Right. Exactly, Melissa. You know, we hang together. So because Ricky isn't here, were they? No. You know, no. Because no, they were older. They're 10 years of no. My older sister never lived here since I was 4, and then the other one, she's 10 years older. So she had grown kids and everything. You know, she was grown and had kids when we were all together. So it's like, so y'all gonna keep this up? And then to find out my sister that's here has been kind of low key dogging me for years. I'm like, y'all are just like really sad and pathetic. So you know, for me, I got past it a long time ago. The one that it bothered the most of us was DJ, because I used to, you know, do yeah, Terry's 10 years older than me, Ricky's 14 years older than me. So there's a big age gap. Um so the one it bothered the most in the beginning was DJ, because he was so used to us all being together. Like when I did Thanksgiving, I used to do Thanksgiving. We all used to be together. And for a long time, you know, they were trying to no, they didn't get it from DJ. So they were yeah. Well, so you have to remember, my sister's very sickly. Has always been. That's my sickly sister. So Terry has a lot of illnesses. Um, so that's what they're doing. So you, but now DJ wasn't talking to her. It just bothered him a lot, and so for a while he kind of blamed me, um, um, about things. You know, like I was keeping us apart. But then it took him to get older to see what was really happening. Um, Mario is actually my ex-husband's nephew, great nephew. So he's not blood to us, but we've kept him and we got rid of him. So he's the best part of my marriage. So Mario is actually not related. And so what happened was is like Mario lived with me for about 2 years, and because his mom wasn't, you know, she's got out there. So he lived with us for about 2 years. And so, excuse me, him and DJ we had all lost touch with Mario. And through social media, DJ and him connected a few years ago. I want to say about 5 years, not quite 5 years ago. Him and DJ connected and found each other again. Um, right. So then that's when, so and once they connected, they just been cousins again. So because DJ had been wanting to find him for years, he would always be like, you know, I wonder where Mario is. I hope he's okay. And so he just so happened, I don't know, you know, through social media, something connection, he was able to find Mario, and Mario was able to find him. And so then that's how they connected. And then they started hanging out, and then they started working together. And then now they've been living together for what, 2, 3 years? It's about 3 years now. They've had an apartment, a place together since like 2017. Yeah, about 3 years. So, yep. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Mario's not really. My nephews don't talk to me. Well, okay. Um The oldest one sort of talks to me. My sister Terry's sons. My older sister doesn't have kids. The two younger ones for years didn't speak to me. Like would see me at gatherings and would not say anything to me. Like I had done some shit. Um, my youngest one, Robert, he tries to speak to me, be cool now. No, that only one, John was, and he still doesn't speak to me. Um, but it's so funny because here's the difference between how we think. No, I got a cold. Yeah, I just have a cold right now. So when I get a cold, my eye, and it's like when I do, and this light is in my eyes, starts to bother my eyes. Whew. But B's allergic to them. So nah, I'm catching a cold right now because my nose is all. But yeah, so she's it's been an interesting few years with my sisters. So no, so Robert and John would literally not speak to me because I had told B, because B was the most angry with them. I said, no matter what, they are your aunts. Be respectful. So if we are in the same space, all you gotta do is speak to them. I don't expect you to do anything else with them. I don't expect you to hold a conversation with them. You don't have to talk to them. But if you see them in a space that we are in, say hello. Just say hello and keep it moving. No, I don't have no fevers. I don't have a Rona. Now let me tell you, if I had a fever, I'd be real sick because I rarely get fevers. That's one thing I don't get. I never ever get fevers. I could be sick and I never get a fever. That's one thing I don't get. That's why I know I was sick in December because I had fever back then. Remember, I was real sick in December. Now, December, that's when I had a fever. No, right. I told DJ and Bianca that whenever you see your parent, they're still your aunts. Whether I like them or not, they're still your aunts. So give them that. Right. Yeah, you just gotta be civil with them. Just a little civility is all I ask of you. After that, you ain't gotta fuck with them. Let me tell you something. If I take some Benadryl, that's another reason why I don't do drugs. I have such a low tolerance to that. If I took Benadryl, I wouldn't even be on here because I'd be knocked the fuck out for at least 5 hours. Benadryl knocks me out. Right, basic human decency. And so that's why I don't fuck with them. And so, like, my nephews, I'm like, yeah, okay. The only thing, oh, pass the fuck out. Well, that's the way you got. Melissa, you like to be on the edge of crazy. Yeah. Baby, listen, I've had I've had 3 surgeries in my entire life. I had 2 on my knee. I had my hysterectomy. Every time I am so knocked out, they think they've OD'd me. I have literally been slapped awake. When I had the hysterectomy, B said they came and got her and said, could you please wake your mama up? She will not wake, your mother will not wake up. She's in recovery. Because when they put the thing in and they say, count back from 100. I have never counted in my entire life. That I feel the coldness of that fucking drug and I'm knocked out. Out. And I am out for hours. They were like, could you please, so we could take her up to her room. So literally B had to come. Right. You're so stupid, Melissa. B had to literally come and be like, ma, so that they could see that I was lucid and take me upstairs. And then I went back to sleep. I was like, huh? I've never gotten to one number. I just felt they said count back from 100 and I never said a word. They said I remember the first time I had it done, my first surgery was when I was a freshman in high school on my knee. After I fell off the roof. 2 years later they did surgery on it. And they said to me, back then they used to do a pre thing right? So I was in the room and they were prepping me and they gave me the shot. Because back then, that was in the 70s, like 81, they give you a shot. And then the shot was supposed to, like, start relaxing you. And then you're supposed to, like, and then you're supposed to be awake. And then they prep you when you get down to, pre-op. And they came to get me from the room. I was knocked out. I remember this because they were like, I remember the doctor was like, "How much did y'all give her?" I heard him saying that. Ooh, no, see, they got to worry about me waking up. Shit, that's the problem. Will I wake up? So, and those are things that make me understand. I'm a lightweight when it comes to shit like that. I would never, 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 never. Y'all know this has been over 2 hours. Y'all know it's been over 2 hours. It is 1 o'clock in the morning, y'all. We've been on this from 1 o'clock. I done told y'all my whole life story of my sisters and why we don't fuck with each other. No, but seriously, uh, I don't know. I don't know. Listen, my sisters would sue me if I wrote some shit like that. Wait a minute. My sister, you know if I wrote that shit, my sisters would sue me. Girl, please. They be talking about I'm lying on them. This never happened. She's crazy. Girl, hell no, I wouldn't write that shit. Baby, please. They would be calling, they'd be like, that she's crazy. She's crazy. They would be like, oh, this bitch is crazy. No, I don't think they on here. When it comes to family, and that's just in general, my family is not those people who you are absolutely right. My family is the type of people that, other than my cousin Kara, oh man, I'm sure he did. Other than my cousin, none of my family comes on here. That's true. They're only a small part of my story. None of my cousins come on here at all. Because my family isn't that family. My family, especially with something doing like this, nah. Now, let me say this. My family's the type, classic. My family's that classic family that, right now, hell no. Like, say, for instance, I blew up and I had like 1 million subscribers and people were talking about me. Then they'd be like, oh, yeah, that's my cousin. That's my family. Then I would be family. Then it would be cool that I'm on social media. But, at this level, hell no, they ain't watching me. Hell the fuck no. Never. Right. That's on my father's side. That's the Caillouets. That's my daddy's side. But yeah, so yeah, nah. Juicy, what are you doing on my bed? Oh yeah, right. If I became like this big, social media person, then it'd be like, oh my God, we always knew she could do it. We always knew she could do it. Yay, yay, yay. We've always been in her corner. You know how family is. You know how they are. Whew. All right, y'all, let's get out of here. What should we do today? Later on today on. Okay, I got a film today. Who's the turtle? The turtle. Go out with the turtle. Who that? I had to think about that. I don't remember. You had to jog my memory, and then I remember who it is. Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting oh my God. Let me. I have to think about that. I can't remember. Oh, on the line. Oh, for my birthday. Oh, it's gonna be late. I haven't talked to her. I have to find out. I know you talked about now. Yeah, yeah. I have to ask her what happened, cause she tripping. Girl, you too old to be worried about that stuff. You 50 some years old. You better go out with that man. You better go out to. You better go out that man. Stop acting like you got a lot of options. Okay, Monica. Monica. That's who it was. Right. Okay, y'all. Right. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's go. Let's get some rest. I will not be on till late, 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 late. I think we should do some makeup though, because I do need to do some filming tomorrow. So maybe we'll do some makeup later on tomorrow. Because I'm going to sleep. Right. Right. We was trying to explain to her, and you this stupid. You this old. You don't know that. By now, you should know that shit. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. If you all have been here, these 100 and something people, go on and give me a like on your way out. Give me a like as you leave. It ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. Won't cost you nothing. Good chance as you go. Hello. Melissa, you are gonna stay off of Fragrance X. See you later.